Hey, welcome back to What Do I Eat as someone who eats plant-based. Today we're going to be making a salad. And sometimes we hear people say, "Oh, I'm having a salad for dinner, I'm having a salad for lunch." And we often wonder, yeah, right, you're probably going to have a whole nother meal afterwards because it just seems so light. This salad is filling and at the same time it's nutritious and also it doesn't leave you heavy. You feel light and also you just feel really nice knowing that you ate something really healthy and it just looks so green and really colorful. You want a whole lot of color. So we've cleaned all the vegetables, thoroughly cleaned them. And when you're cleaning the romaine lettuce, I like to take them apart. I like to take them apart and make sure there's no dirt in between them because sometimes you might find dirt in between them. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting them up. I'll start with the romaine lettuce. I keep it in a batch like this, so that way I'm cutting the whole thing together, not individual leaves. And the stems, I try to keep as much of it as possible to eat, but some parts of it you may not necessarily want. And also, so okay, depends on the individual. Like certain parts are a little too rough, so you may not necessarily want those parts. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut them so I keep them together as a bunch. We have the cucumbers, and with the cucumbers, sometimes I do get them organic, but sometimes you don't find them organic. So if you don't find them organic, when I don't find them organic, I like to peel them. So I use a peeler. Sorry. And it just peels the outer layer, but it's not something that's necessary. I'm just using this as an example for you. Some people might want a more, I don't know, more neat look to it. And also, if you don't buy it organic and you don't want to eat the skin, you can do this too. And I'm not cutting deep, I'm cutting lightly, so that way I'm not just cutting away the whole thing. And again, it's just my preference that I don't eat the skin if it's not organic. It's just my preference. But if you choose to, that's fine, and I'm sure it is nutritious. So I'm going to cut this straight like this, and then I'm going to cut this part the same way. And sometimes, if the cucumber is kind of old, this part over here might be soft. I prefer it off. I don't like a mushy cucumber, but over here this is pretty firm. But if it wasn't, I would just clean it out, or even when I cut it in half, I would use a spoon and just clean it out. I'm only going to use one tomato. As you can see, this is pretty full already. And again, this is a meal. It's not like a salad in the sense of, okay, we're going to eat a salad before dinner. No, this is the meal. And different people have different ways of cutting their tomatoes. This is how I do mine. Sometimes I would get the small tomatoes. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut out this little section, that fibrous section that we don't want to eat. And again, if my tomatoes are mushy, I take that mushy part out. I know somebody's probably like, that's nutrition. It is, but again, you want I like my meals to look neat, so I'll keep the tomatoes to the side for now. I'll put them later. I'm going to put my chickpeas. Again, this is a full cup of chickpeas. Put my chickpeas. Now, the onions, I peel out the outer layer, and I did wash the onions. I'm going to go ahead and cut it. And I don't like a heavy onion taste to things unless it's cooked. So I like to cut my onions like pretty thin. So you see, pretty thin cuts. Not thin enough for me, actually. So that way when I bite into the salad, I'm not tasting like a whole thing of uncooked onions, but I'm just getting just a slight flavor of it. Okay, I think that's about enough for me. And if you want to, you could have cut it this way also, but not necessary. I'll just spread it across. The green onions, really, when I saw it, when I read about it, I heard about it, it was really interesting because it's anti-cancerous, and it's just something that the doctor, I'm not sure which doctor it was, I believe it was Dr. Furman, he recommended that you add it to your salads. And again, I cleaned it already. I'm cutting out this area over here. It looks dead and just fibrous, and I'm going to cut it this way, so that way I can cut it all together. Okay, again, I'm cutting away from my fingers. And I don't have a sharp knife, and I'm not a chef, so you're not going to see me chop, 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 chop away. Because if I try to do that, I might cut my fingers. You just spread it across. And what's left? I believe that's it. We add our tomatoes. And you can add your tomatoes any kind of way. I like decorative looking thing. And this is not exactly too decorative, but it'll make do. And our potato. So this is what we have so far for the salad. Again, it's a big old salad. Guess what? This is the meal. And the potato, I cleaned it and I microwaved it. Anyway, so here's the potato. And you can cut it however way you choose to cut it, and just add it to your salad. Again, those of you guys who are trying to transition into plant-based, you can do things however way you feel comfortable. The point is that you're doing something different, and you're going through it. Remember, don't give up as far as, oh, this is not too cute. Don't give up as far as, your goal for this year. If your goal is to eat better, just go ahead and do it. You don't have to worry about if you're doing it perfectly, or if you did it every day or not. But if you can just add one meal that is plant-based, that's a very good start. Or if you can do a smoothie in the morning and then a big old salad at night.